Washington Commanders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. First play, going to throw it. That's out to the flat for Gibson. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Now they go play action with Howell. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man. Here's Tressway now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Cook. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Cousins on first down. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And got his man complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big pickup of 38.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
From the red zone now, Cousins. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Boy, that's 3 points you really expect to have. That's nothing more than a lack of concentration to me, because an NFL kicker should make this kick in his sleep.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll go play action. Howell. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Faking the handoff. Howell. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation. And they took advantage of the young man right there.
Following the interception, Cousins. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
Jonathan Allen had a very nice season for Washington in 2021 with 9 sacks and his first career Pro Bowl nod. He continues to be a valuable centerpiece for that defensive line.
Open right side, complete to Rager. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Cook trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Dalvin Cook so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Vikings post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35.
They have been struggling to put points on the board so far. And while you don't want to lump it all on the rookie quarterback, he's definitely the root cause. And all rookies, they have those learning experiences in their first year. What they're hoping for is that he can learn on the fly, work through his struggles against his defense, and at the same time, still find a way to put them in a position to win.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. They just do get the play off. Now Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They find some open field here. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Here's 2nd and 10.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Hey, we're good.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here's Howell.
Thomas has got it. Complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Off play action. It's Howell.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Howell. This one complete to Curtis Samuel.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts
as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
With a play fake, and now here's Howell to throw it.
Taking a shot for Samuel.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Andrew Booth picks it off.
And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And Hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Joseph is good. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. Now it's 3rd down and inches. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now Cousins on 4th down. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. 1st down. Here's Cousins.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've got to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Howell. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell.
And that is incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
And this one is no good. He missed it.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on third down.
To throw is Cousins.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 33 yards that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 29, Cousins.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
A great play there. 29 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that makes our score 17-0.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball.
And that's caught inside the 35.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
Second and 10, Howell. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Second down throw for Howell.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. On third down, Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
He juked him. And some space here. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, is the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
How about this? They'll try the option, left side.
And once again, the Commander defense stout against the run game. They drop it for a 2nd straight play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Joseph's got it.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. A give up the middle to Gibson.
And he stopped immediately there.
Tackle there by Lewis Seen.
The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing here, Howell.
And my goodness, another interception. There he goes, right side. 30, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
But just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about him culminating with a pick six?
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter and a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook.
And taken down just shy of the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 72 yards rushing now for Cook, and this is a 1st down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Cousins on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down.
From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And he's got it inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Cousins here to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Vikings,
they get a much-needed victory to get to 3-5 on the year.
And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.